What would you do if you knew a global pandemic was coming? Something that would disrupt our economy and potentially disrupt the housing market and just change the way that real estate is done. So I know it sounds kind of silly. I'm recording this video August 6th, 2020, in the midst of COVID and the pandemic. And the reason I posed the question that way is because I don't think this thing is going anywhere. I don't watch a lot of news. I'm not reading a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not caught up in the 24-hour news cycle or on social media. I do check a few just data sources and apply logic to those data sources to come to the conclusion that like this virus doesn't really care that it's election year. I know there's like just theories going around that there's, this is a hoax and it's linked to the election, and there's a left and a right political side to this. And there could be. I don't really get involved in politics. I don't think, this is going to sound horrible. I just don't think the leader of our country has much of an impact on much in my life. I do everything I can to wake up every morning, do my best work, be the best husband I can, the best father, the best, business person, and glorify God in everything I do. That's kind of just my deal. And I don't do it. I just don't do media and all of that stuff. So what if you actually knew something was gonna impact the flow of our economy and cause unemployment, like reset everything right now? What moves would you make in your business to sort of prepare yourself for something like that, like this? And the reason I ask is because we are in what I think is a period of, a little bit of a calm before the storm. Don't get me wrong. In March, April, it was pretty stormy. There was some stuff. Everyone was just sort of kind of like normalizing to this new order and this new way of doing business and just acting, and just consumerism shifted and fear and, the whole mask wearing thing right now. And should I go out or shouldn't I go out? And we want to be in a period of normalcy and go back to the way things were, and they aren't the same. I've been not impacted directly from COVID. I know folks that have been, and it's a real thing. And so I would really urge you, if you think this is sort of politically based, or you think there's a wrong or right side of this thing, it just is what it is. And as business owners, we have to be able to just take into account what's going on. I do think there's going to be a bigger economic impact to this. Housing is super strong right now. The challenge I have for you is, what would you do if you knew that a slowdown was coming? And there's three things that I'm doing to prepare for what that might look like. And this is not like, I'm not, a sky is falling type of business person. I'm generally, out there in the future, and I don't let, current challenges get me down. And part of this is just being a realist. And what if this does, stick around for longer than we expect? And what if it does have an impact on the housing market? And so here are three things. The first thing is to still be conservative with your cash and your expenses. So protect what you have. And this isn't the time, especially in, probably a couple of really up months in most real estate markets. Like, we can't keep listings on the market. They're going within a few days. We had an amazing June, an amazing July. August is looking to be amazing. What if it doesn't continue to be amazing? So our personality type, we tend to look at like everything with a positive lens. And when things are going well and we have this sort of bias towards positivity, it can be a dangerous combination, because we think things can't possibly get bad, right? So be conservative with your cash and expenses. Where can you get cash right now? If you own a home, surely you should consider refinancing your home. I'm not a big debt guy. I do have debt only on my home. And if there ever was an opportunity to, leverage your home as a source of future cash, this is that opportunity. And, that's not telling you to take out a home equity line and buy a boat with it. It's just now is the time where you want to have cash. And there's going to be opportunity. You may need the cash to sort of feed your business for a period of time, or there may be opportunity to take advantage of, and not in a horrible, evil, capitalistic kind of way. There just may be opportunity to help someone who is less fortunate than you, who may have to dispose of an asset that you can capitalize on because you're in a position where you have cash to take advantage of that situation. So that's number one. Number two is to lean into your cadence, both in your business and personally. This is a big one, and I went a little bit, well, not a little bit. I feel like I went a bit off the rails, when things got real in mid-March. And we had just gone on the week before everything hit, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is like, I feel kind of stupid looking back on it. We went to Hawaii the first week in March. And then when we came back, that's when everything was like, yeah, this is like the real deal. And, looking back on it, I mean, probably should have known better. I think I just see things through that positive lens all the time. And I'm like, this isn't probably as serious as they make it out to be. And that was super wrong, obviously. When I think about cadence though, I went off the rails quite a bit. My morning routine suffered, my daily cadence suffered a little bit personally. In the business has a cadence. The business was, still super intentional. The real estate team has a cadence around a 7 a.m., tell me something good call, a 7:30 rev up where we role play and pray and sort of prepare for the day. 8 to 11's new business development. 11:30 to 1:30 or so is lead follow-up. So that cadence was intact. We didn't really slip off of that at all. I just found myself personally staying up late, waking up late. The kids were off school and they got off their calendar. I don't think we've still recovered from that crazy sort of shift in calendar. So what is your cadence? Have you gotten a little sloppy as the last couple months in real estate have been really strong? Have you gotten away from the things that, are going to lead you through something a little, squishiness in the market? Or if our economy does take, the housing economy, the housing market takes a little bit of a turn, or, something happens to sort of, shift consumers' mindset around housing. Like I'm not smart enough to know all of that. I know inventory is super low. I know there's a reason to be bullish if you're in real estate. All that's well and good. I'm just wondering though, if we've gotten away from our routines, away from the things that we know are going to lead to success, whatever the market is. And so there's encouragement there, stick to your personal routines, and also your personal wellness routines. Right? I went off the rails in my diet. I felt like, well, of course, this is a good reason to eat potato chips. It's COVID-19, right? And that's not a good reason to eat potato chips ever. There's never a good reason to eat potato chips like 5 nights a week while you're, binge watching, something Better Call Saul on Netflix. Just not a good idea. So lean into your cadence and be consistent with it. And if you have team members, they're in a position where they're consumed in all of this media. They're consuming everything that's going on. They're on social media. They're sort of, everyone is in the rut of, even pre-COVID, social media was challenging, right? And news is challenging. And these like really high quality productions, Netflix, you can go on there and you can just watch like the best stuff for hours every night and never get through all the content. Right? So that's always going to be there. It's always going to be a temptation. It's always going to take us off the cadence that we need to be really successful. And there's really nothing great on Netflix. Netflix happens for me between 10 and 12 at night. I need to be in bed, sleeping, eyes shut, 10 to 10:15, so I can get up 6 to 6:15. So Netflix is never a good thing. It's always 10 to 12 at night. And it's, it feels good in the moment. It takes me off of my cadence. And my cadence starts with not my morning routine. My cadence starts with the time I go to bed. And so I was impacted quite a bit there. Number 3 is to be patient and watch your natural tendencies. I mentioned it earlier. We have a tendency to kind of be positive. Business builders in real estate, we're generally just positive, right? We're futuristics. If you've ever taken the Strengths Finder, I think it's called futuristic, and it's like we're always in the future. So we're always seeing past like the current challenges, which on the one hand, it's super helpful because it allows us to keep going when things are hard. On the other hand, it's challenging because things might be really tough, and we're going to not really honor that. We're not going to, listen to our team when they say they're struggling because of what's going on. We're just in the future. Come on, stay up, keep up with me in the future. And we tend to exhaust people. The other thing I would mention is, in terms of watching your natural tendencies, is that when sort of an entrepreneurial minded team leader or real estate agent, we tend to, when we're not sort of making progress in an area of our life. So say we're not making progress in real estate. We tend to look for things to change or disrupt. Like the dopamine hit we get from switching CRMs or trying this lead source, or what's another good example? Switching coaching programs and thinking there's like, this is the reason I'm not getting success. Let me switch to this one. We've had some of that. We've had people leave real estate B school thinking the grass is greener somewhere else. And we've had even more people come into our world that know that what we teach is the real stuff, the real stuff that's sustainable, that's going to last forever in your business. And so your natural tendencies, how do you react when you're not sort of in momentum, when you're not growing your business and you feel like you're not making progress? Are you constantly chasing squirrels and getting distracted by shiny objects? Those are the momentum killers in your business. And if you don't watch yourself, you're going to be challenged to grow in your business and your life, and not only by your numbers, not only by selling more homes. There's so many ways that we can measure growth. And in real estate, traditional success, traditional ways of measuring growth is strictly by the number of homes you sell. Nobody is caring that you had 100% increase in date nights this year over last year. Nobody cares that you had, on average, you have 4 times increase the amount of time you spend with your children during the week, just quality time face-to-face with your children. Nobody's counting in our industry if you're emotionally well. Like, hey, I have a 2.1, X increase in my emotional wellness. I've lost 20 pounds and I'm running, 3 to 5 miles 6 days a week. Like, I don't get awards for that. I didn't do that last year. This year I'm crushing it. I'm running like 25 to 30 miles a week. And it's like my therapy, just getting out of my neighborhood is a 1.22 mile loop. And I'll do 4 loops of my neighborhood, like 5 to 6 times a week. I never did that before. But do I get credit for it? Will our real estate team sell less homes this year than last year? Yeah. Have I grown this year compared to last year? 100%. Because physically, I'm in an amazing shape. My relationships with my children and my spouse are stronger than ever. I just signed up for seminary to get my Master's of Divinity, and I'll be starting that this month. That's something I didn't do last year, but my real estate team is going to sell less houses, so I haven't grown, right? So just be careful. Your natural tendency is to measure growth by number of homes you sell. What if you measured it on different things, in your business and also outside your business? What if you measured it on the number of systems you implemented in your business, right? All these core systems that we teach in Real Estate B School, some of our members, we encourage them, maybe this isn't the year you increase your units because you don't have a foundation in your business. Your database is complete crap. You don't have a consultation, like a sales process for buyers or sellers. You don't have any, like your yard marketing system is not strong. Your lead management, texting, email nurtures are crap. You don't have an agent onboarding system or a recruiting system. Like, let's measure growth in the number of like foundational systems you install this year. And so our natural tendency is only to measure it by number of homes we sell. And it's not even to measure it by the number of dollars we have in the bank, our net worth. Ironically, Nobody talks about that either. That's a whole nother episode I won't get into today. And so challenge yourself just to think of this, be conservative with cash and expenses. This isn't the time to chase squirrels and get distracted by shiny objects. Lean into your cadence, both personally and professionally, that new business development cadence, the lead follow-up cadence, and the cadence with, building out systems in your business. And then lastly, to be patient and watch your natural tendencies. And I guess the fourth was, just be careful how you measure growth. That would probably be the fourth, since I soapboxed on that a little bit. So much love and respect. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, I almost forgot. If you're at the point in your journey where you just know you need someone to come into your world that can help you navigate not only shifting markets, but there's so many things that are shifting right now for service providers. We've got consumer shift, technology shift, the business model shift with iBuyers, and then just the economic shift that we talked about today. If you need someone to come into your world and come alongside you and come up with a really clear 3-year vision, break that down into a 1-year plan, 90 days, weeks, days, just map this whole thing out and get you on a really clear plan to be time and money free. That is the thing we work on and we do the best in Real Estate B School. There should be an action item here, a button where you can opt in for a free business growth strategy session. It's just a conversation with one of our coaches to see where you're at in your journey and what your next step is. And if we can help you, great. If we can't, it is a free coaching session. So make sure you take action on that, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the Business Freedom Podcast. If you're getting value from the podcast, would you please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others who might benefit from the content I'm sharing? And if you're ready to scale your real estate business sustainably and profitably, there are a couple options for you. If you're doing under $500,000 in annual GCI, our Business Foundations program is for you. Head over to getbusinessfoundations.com. That's getbusinessfoundations.com. and learn how you can make the shift from overwhelmed real estate agent to true business owner. If you're doing more than $500,000 in annual team GCI, there's our graduate program designed for top producers and team leaders who want to grow their team and scale their business. If that's you, go to realestatebschool.com and apply for a free business growth strategy session. No matter where you are in your business growth journey, we have the tools, systems, strategies, training, and coaching to get you where you want to be. Remember, only you can create your future. So take action now.